emphasize at the outstart that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So I'm not here this afternoon as a Republican, nor as a Democrat, not as a Mason, nor as an elf.
Well, tell us what you're here for.
Not as a Protestant, nor a Catholic, not as a Christian, nor a Jew,
All right,
not as a Baptist, nor a Methodist.
Yes.
In fact, not even as an American. Because if I was an American, the problem that confronts our people today wouldn't even exist. I'm here today as what I was when I was born, a black man. Oh, I say it again, you've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok. This is what he does.
China, the bag can never be luxury. However, in fact, more than 80% of the luxury bags in the world are made in China. But those luxury brands just won't acknowledge that. They take almost finished bags from China factories back to their own countries and just do the repackaging and logo installing, something like that. That way, the bags will appear at their boutiques as made in Italy or made in France. You know, those sophisticated European countries which make you feel mysterious, royal, and thus luxury. Now, close your eyes. Let's just do a little very easy experiment in your head, okay? Imagine that you have Hermes bag and suddenly the label on it changed from made in France into made in China, while everything else like leathers, zippers, and hardware remain the same. Do you suddenly feel that your bag is not as luxury as before? If you do, that means you have been misled and poisoned by the market campaign of those luxury brands for too long. Welcome to the real world. Welcome to the real world. Now you see, those bags are made in China by our intelligent and diligent Chinese artisans. Let's not be poisoned and misled by the market campaign any longer and be a real person. Buy a bag from our factory in China. See the real world for yourself. As many of you have found out, once again, our TikTok accounts are permanently disabled.
Looks like someone's trying real hard to silence this guy. Wonder who that could be. One thing's for sure, these corporations are sweating bullets right now. Trump extended TikTok twice instead of letting it crash and burn when he had the chance. Because now, these Chinese manufacturers are coming out in full force, blowing the lid off the scam that's been running for decades. And the West is finally watching through a Chinese app, TikTok. Side note, I still find it amazing how the Chinese can freely communicate with us, whatever information they want to share, but the Chinese government won't allow us to freely communicate with them. You see, if we had the same messages for them that they have for us, their government will ban those messages. They will never see them. Remember, they don't see what we see. Their algorithm is highly protected by their government. Now, for years, U.S., Canadian, and European companies have been importing products from China and turning around to sell them at sky-high prices to their own citizens. It's capitalism wrapped in a luxury bow. But now the tables are turning. It's consumers versus producers, U.S. versus China, the people versus corporations, the land of buyers versus the land of manufacturers. And guess what? The manufacturers are talking. The ones who's been behind the scenes producing for Nike, Chanel, Louis V, Hermes, Stanley, Sephora, you name it. They're now pulling back the curtain and saying, here's the real price. And here's how you've been getting played. And TikTok, exploding. People are acting like this is breaking news. Like they didn't know everything's made in China. Like, come on now. Walk through any major U.S. city. Look at the ghost of old factories. Entire buildings abandoned for decades unless real estate vultures snatch them up and flip them into overpriced apartments. Once upon a time, those places built goods for Americans by Americans. Now they're empty because brands chase cheaper labor, higher margins, and left communities behind. And here's the twist. Those same manufacturers they teamed up with are now flipping the script, taking the designs, the tech, the exact same product specs, and making them available direct to consumer at a fraction of the price. And the brands, of course, big mad. So now what's their move? Try to mute the Chinese manufacturers exposing it all on TikTok. Like this guy here. Yeah, shut him up before the ripple turns into a wave. But is it too late? The curtain's been pulled. Is the illusion crumbling? Are people finally seeing who's been really cashing in this whole time?
As many of you have found out, once again, our TikTok accounts are permanently disabled. But to be honest, I can't really remember how many times. Maybe this is the 7th or the 8th time. And why does this keep happening? Well, in one of the videos I posted in one of our permanently disabled already accounts, I explained that because I spilled too much tea, I shared too much inconvenient information about the cost of the bags, so that the capital behind those luxury brands are unhappy. And meanwhile, TikTok is spineless. So it permanently disabled our accounts repeatedly. And it doesn't even give us an explanation. It just says you violated a rule. That's all. What rule? Oh, you mean the rule, don't make my capital masters unhappy, otherwise I will permanently disable you rule. Ah, okay, I see. TikTok. As the platform, you can permanently disable my accounts because you have support from the capital. But I have the support from the people all over the world. The people who are now already awakened, who now refuse to be brainwashed any longer by the capital, who now refuse to be ripped off any longer by the capital. From now on, I will register 1,000 new accounts. And even if you disable all of them, I will register the 1,001st account. I will continue to spill the tea of the cost of bags and continue to make great bags of right prices for all the people around the world. For all the people around the world. Chinese people are not afraid of hard work and sacrifice. Chinese people are not afraid of oppression and tyranny. Otherwise, we wouldn't have stood up from the more than 100 years of foreign invasion, oppression, and colonization from 1840 to 1945. Otherwise, we wouldn't have become what we are now. And in the future, China will take lead in the world, not by ripping off other peoples and countries, but by honestly and equally developing with other countries and peoples.
He's out here saying he spilled too much tea. Like, where did he even get that phrase? China definitely didn't invent that slang. What is this? The Real Housewives of Chinese factories? Yeah, somebody's definitely been influenced by Black America. But seriously, these manufacturers are masters at replicating products. Why? Because when companies hand over their designs, thinking they're protected and airtight, China's already 5 steps ahead. They collect the data, build tight relationships with global raw material suppliers, and piece together the entire blueprint to create the products for them from scratch, then turn around and recreate the same products, the knockoffs. Add to that decades of greedy corporations outsourcing manufacturing, shutting down American factories, killing off jobs, and brainwashing consumers into thinking overpriced equals luxury. It's already done. The Chinese now have all our information and they control the algorithm, while the US can never control the minds and information fed to their children, their women, their men. But I digress.
And right now, the Chinese manufacturers are the best content on TikTok. They said, oh, tariffs, you say. Oh, okay. American people, y'all said y'all like New Balance, Adidas, Nike, bet. Oh, yeah. The manufacturer is such and such, located at such and such in Guangzhou. They do shipping within this time, and here are the products. I've seen the manufacturers for every brand anybody could possibly think of, from shoes and apparel to beauty products. One of the Chinese manufacturers said, oh yeah, you know how you pay such and such $100 for Chanel beauty product? Well, we only make them for $10. Listen, I don't know how this tariff thing is going to play out, but the way that the Chinese manufacturers are playing their hand, absolutely well done. 10s across the board. I told y'all in the years that I lived in China, I got everything under the sun because everything is pretty much made there. So to see people learning about the actual quality that's in China, because not everything is made cheaply, and learning about websites like Taobao, y'all better get to getting while the getting is good.
This is not a drill. They are suppliers online on this app that are selling Nikes for $1 and also for $2. Like the Chinese suppliers and factories, I don't know what Nike did to them, but I saw one guy, he had like a bunch of shoes around him, like Nikes. And he's like, yeah, $1, $2, contact us. know what Trump done started, man.
Well, looks like we're about to start buying Nikes, Chanel bags, and Louis off of TikTok shop with China. Giving up everything on the low. They put it all out there. It's on TikTok shop now. Listen, I ain't gonna lie. China smoked y'all boots with the designer brands. When it comes to this tariff war, China doing their thing. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Don't forget them wigs. Don't forget them wigs either, baby. I mean, them wigs too. They smoked your boots.
I ain't gonna lie. China smoked y'all boots with the designer brands. When it comes to this tariff war, China doing their thing. I ain't gonna lie, bro. They get in y'all. They sit up here selling all designer brands for $10. Now regular folks fixing to walk around look like rich people. They didn't fool me, because I was already shopping on Shein and Temu, baby. They got y'all dumbass.
They most definitely smoked your boots. All these wigs made in China, y'all. China wigs. These wigs made in China. Damn.